Alright, hello and welcome back to Finish Nightmare, and I did it. I beat Sally's section, and just to rub it in X-Series face, I also beat Hyper... Well, I did as much as I could with the other two, including meeting all the requirements for Hyper Cream, as well as getting an extra shard in the Amy survival section. But I never actually imagined I'd have the patience to get through this, so I simply didn't use patience. Yeah, apparently I was way overthinking this. Like, as you can see here, I don't even hardly waste time in the beginning section. I just go. Now, because I am recording this post, some of the initial excitement has worn down, but rest assured, I am still very, very pleased with this. So, I only am showing the successful sections, as in when I succeeded in each section, that's the only time I show. So, if you notice a cut where I lose a whole bunch of lives, that would be because that's where I only had just cut to where I survived. It does, however, look like uh, the audio decided to not work. So, that's great. So, I guess enjoy whatever music I end up putting here. But yeah, I was honestly surprised I actually managed to get even through the first section of this. The good news is you can usually tell what I witness based on my actions. For example, if I'm just running around, chances are I didn't hear about. If I ducked behind a bookshelf or something like that, I heard some sound coordinating to movement of a creature. After that, yeah, you actually are just dead if you don't have the spring here, so lucky me, I have the spring. Or had the spring. Yeah, I immediately failed. Just play it safe. Because no matter how courageous I am going in, I am still a overcautious player at every turn. Whole bunch of rings here. So annoying that the audio didn't get recorded. I even checked OBS beforehand to make sure I actually had something recording audio, and, well, apparently it just didn't work. Yeah, according to this, I should have recorded the audio. I'm checking my OBS right this second, and I do in fact have the audio recording. So, is it just very quiet? No, it is not. It's just the fact that I had my computer volume low, so I couldn't actually hear the sounds. I'm glad I was wrong, though, because that would have been so very, very painful if this entire thing was missing the audio. Just so you're aware, I will be having another video which shows every death, just so you guys can prove that it was all in one go and that I didn't splice any two separate game playthroughs together or anything like that. But I survived with all three of them, as well as got the Emeralds from Sunky Exterior. I don't actually know its name. Either way, I survived Pervision, Exterior, whatever this demon is that comes after Cuddy and Sally. Oh, by the way, I turned out to love the disguises. Like, it's legitimately the only reason why I get through this first section here, because I'm actually at the chase sequence just about. Like, after this spring, which I know was like 5 million years spent here once before, because I was playing way too cautiously. Gotta collect everything. And once I'm certain I've got it all, drink the potion, and we go. Tell you're being chased. And I barely made it. The amount of stress I had in that moment was too much, probably, for a fictional game, but anyway, I found Cuddy. That's good news. Believe it or not, the second section was much easier once I got past the mentality of, oh, I just gotta take it slow. But anyway, I am showing you all the text here. It may take a little bit because I haven't edited the text section down, so if this little piece of speech doesn't make any sense, then that would be why. But in any case, I say I'm honestly very, very happy with myself right now. I actually managed to beat the entire Nightmare series as legitimately as I feasibly can. Which means I use the UIM in just about every version I play. I beat the routes, I just had a lot of lives to do it with. Which I did in fact need, because by the end of this run, I had lost literally 60 plus lives. Which, in case you don't know, means it would have taken me... If I had to make a rough guess, it would probably be somewhere in the 100 attempt marker. Because the addition of having to reload the game to get past the game overs would likely cause me to go insane. So, now that I've beaten this, I can finally move on from this series of games until the next ending is added, because I've been checking out the game guilds, and apparently there's going to be a Sally Cream duo. Which, originally I thought I would never actually be able to reach, because, well, never thought I'd make it past Sally, but suddenly it seems much more plausible. I assume it probably won't help if I bring the Emerdudes from the secret battle, which, yes, I will show how to do that, and explain once I get closer. But for now, it's all about actually getting to the shield and charging it. I do let this scene play out, which is from my first attempt. And as you can see, I suddenly lost 20 lives almost. I don't get hit by the last cream head, luckily. Instead, I get to watch as 7 cream heads fly by me. Okay, it was like 5, but... Either way, that's quite a bit. 6. Ooh, ring. Oh. Ooh, ring. Nothing. Nothing. Door. Duck. Okay, and let's go! Ooh, is there anything in these? I don't know why I'm talking as if I'm actively playing. It's literally just part of my brain. Oh, even more cream heads? Don't mind if I do. I have 4 hit points left, which is good for me because I'm gonna need all of them, I guarantee it. I do slow down from here because I don't know if I need to jump somewhere or anything like that. More cream heads. That was 6 by my account. Unfortunate timing, but I still have plenty of lives, so it's not that bad. And I do believe that this is where I get my shield charge. Yep. Just gonna check for any extra rings and hide before I collect it, because apparently the cream had decided it's gonna spawn right now. Unfortunately, I did not wait long enough, so I got hit anyway. But I do recharge the shields. Unfortunately, the bubble is nowhere near as broken. You can't use it for infinite height. So you have to use the shield here. And I decided I'm gonna bring this ring along. After a few failed attempts. One more. Got it. And then you gotta go back to where you spawned. Unfortunately, I'm terrible at timing. But I managed to not die. Now, you can get unlucky with your cream heads and have them spawn immediately after the door, as well as have quick speed. But now I have reached back to Cuddy, gotten through section 2 of the manor. This does mean that I am almost through with surviving with Sally. I just have one more thing to do. And that's going to be the boss fight / survival section. Now, I do choose to kill the beast because I don't know what happens if the time runs out, and I haven't gone back to figure that out quite yet because I was too excited to voice over this and explain how excited I am. Now, I do check for the spawn points, but as soon as I hear that bell, I don't waste any time. Yeah, and despite Sally being told to have her eyes closed so she never sees the thing and alerts it of her presence, Sally decides she's gonna stare directly into its eyes. So as you would imagine, guess what? The beast finds me! Or Cuddy. And forces me out of hiding. Now, unfortunately, the spawn is so close that you can't really hit the AD with the first hit button. If you're better at dodging, you could probably do this rather easily. So that was the first death, but let me show you the successful attempt. I do learn that the electric double jump stuns the creatures, and while they do die if they get too close, it's not really good to rely on that because you will often get hit at the same time you destroy the creature. A nice double hit does get closer. Unfortunately, I lost track of the monster, so I did challenge around and got myself there. But from here, I settled the battle fairly smoothly. And the last hit kills, allowing me progress. And yes, this is the moment where I start celebrating because I know it will not be anywhere near as difficult to complete any of the following sections of this route. So I'm sitting in my chair, just pumping my arms in the air because I actually beat the Sally route in my head. I hadn't quite beat it, but I was celebrating prematurely. Now for the sad part of the game, where your pal dies. Luckily, Teddy is a kind person. As with most of the victims to an EXE, undeserving of the fate they receive. It's already arrived. I am curious how this thing got here before us. Luckily, we can wait it out, which, you know, shouldn't work because it should know we're there because we're watching it, which is probably why our escape doesn't go as well as we'd like it to. Your sacrifice will not be in vain, Teddy. I gotta admit, I love the artwork, though. At least she can be at peace with her decision. But that officially brings me to green. And I'll skip directly to the more important part, I believe. Oh wait, no. I actually do show you guys me just running through this entire section because it doesn't take me more than like a minute. Do not fall in that pit beforehand because if you don't hit the snowball, you lock yourself into a death. So even if you manage to get out properly, if you forget to hit the snowball, it doesn't matter. Luckily, snowball is like the easiest thing to get. So, yeah, here's Sally, by the way. Or, quote-unquote, Sally. That's about the gist of what they said. Now, as for how you're meant to get back up, you have to quickly initiate your fly boost, and then use your speed boost during the earliest moments of the secondary glide boost. That'll get you just enough height to get on top of each of these ledges and allow you to get back to the start where a new ring has appeared. Of course, I don't know about the viability of activating the snowball while in this state. It's always worth a try if you're trying not to die as Kareem. Of course, if you are trying to die as Kareem, you just jump down there and die. But if you're interested in getting the C+ ending, which is when you defeat this boss here and challenge X tier as Hyper Kareem, then you're going to want to jump out and hit. which I actually had suspected before actually finding out that the thing actually existed. I just didn't know how to get out of the pit because the glide wasn't working for me. But yeah, this Sally has like 5 or 6 hits in it, as well as an annoying pattern. More importantly, it's unpredictable. What I mean by unpredictable is that, while yes, you technically control the boss's entire attack area, its main vulnerable point creates an attack that takes out the ground you can stand on. Now, I'll tell you, I went through a lot of pain during this boss fight, even though I didn't actually lose that many lives. As I got so fed up with being obliterated by the holes in the ground by the time I was fighting or finishing the fight. Unfortunately, I missed that hit, so I ended up over here. And I have to go through another attack cycle of the targeted hit, which does cause me to lose my range, which is not good because I like my range, but I do get 5 back. And I actually beat it. Now just need to stand on these red blocks, which, by the way, the red blocks cannot be destroyed, so they are your only forever blocks you can trust on the entire map. Which I assume is because you can technically keep that fight going forever if you are skilled enough and can remember the map. Now from here it is the normal free route, so I mainly breeze through it except for a honestly stupid death that I could have prevented, which I decided to show. But this Sonic EXE fight goes by so quickly, I don't even bother to do it. I didn't speed anything up for you guys here because I had a feeling I'd be talking my head off, and so far I have been. In fact, I've been talking so much that I've been able to keep tabs of when CapCut starts falling behind on catching me. You see, when you're voiceovering CapCut, you have to keep in mind that it is trying to actively listen to you while I apply that audio to your signal. So it will fall behind if you fall too far behind and lose the audio because it can't hold well. So about every 12 minutes I stop recording my audio to allow a break period and compressor. It works very well for me. But anyway, if you haven't figured out what I'm doing to survive this battle, well, I have no way of securing your win in any of the boss battles, but I will tell you what I do. As you can see, anytime I am in the sections where I have to dodge the spike balls from below up, I stick to a wall and jump between anytime the warning signal disappears. By the final attack, they will be going by fast enough to be no problem, and as you can see, it's right there. During the sideways spike balls, I just keep moving and hope I don't get hit. And then you just want to avoid the middle of the screen after you dodge the falling spike balls top to bottom.
But that leads us into Cream's second part of survival, which is a bit more packed in the form of, in order to survive, you have to dodge the unkillable enemy that kills you the instant you touch it. As well as you're fighting two bars, the frostbite and sanity bars. If the frostbite fills up, you freeze to death. If your sanity drains all the way out, you well, you don't go insane, funnily enough. You just die. You'll get a bit better view of what happens when the sanity bar runs out later. But anyway, I gotta talk to this other chipmunk, or... I always forget her name, but I don't bother to read it. Especially not now, because I skipped through all the text. Because I was just so happy with beating Sally. I just wanted to prove that I could get the best ending when it is created, if it's created. Like, I've already got the Emmer dudes, I got Sally alive, I'm about to have Cream alive, which Cream is the easiest level 3 to me now, because her section has the least RNG in it. And yes, RNG is both my friend and my enemy in this. The skinless guy, and then you hand the view over to see the dead friend. But I'll go ahead and show you guys what happens if you decide to be stupid and not replenish your sanity like I did. You see, I was almost at the end here, like this is literally the last death. And as you can see, that was a dumb choice. So instead, I skipped right back to before that point with better sanity. Now, moving faster lowers your frostbite faster at the cost of sanity rising faster. But overall, the frostbite bar is a lot harder to fill if you're constantly moving. So you're better off just hitting the snow piles and keep on moving. So Exterior obviously does the blatant cheating move and pulls the exit out from under you. Don't worry about it. Frame survives this. And we'll jump right into Amy's. Now this alone would already be impressive for me. I've already survived with the character I deem the toughest, as well as I've achieved the conditions to get the 3+ minutes. But I decided I'm gonna push my luck and survive with Amy. Which actually goes surprisingly well. Now, because I don't very much like wasting my time, I don't stick around in one place too long. As that'd be stupid, especially around one of those monitors. If they spot you, you have to kill them because they will kill you even if you run as far away as you can. Amelia bumps you off there, don't worry about that, you'll be fine so long as you go back far enough to land on the platform. But then, as soon as you get near, you can spin that or jump if you're low enough. I decided to use the crossover bolts just to allow me to get up a bit faster since I screwed up the timing for jumping to land on the platform without landing first to initiate another. Now Amelia knocks off your spring here, that isn't too much of a problem. I'm just gonna spin dash my way and jump across. Just don't be so close that you can't get the timing right on your jump. Now, luckily, you don't have to worry about falling all the way down so long as you charge your spin dash enough and jump properly. As there's a block to catch you, and you can always start your ascent as normal. Now, you may have noticed I did not kill that eyeball thing like before. And you may be wondering why. Well, that's because I have now initiated a checkpoint. So even though I will die as soon as I enter the next section because that eyeball is still technically targeted on me and it is not unloaded upon reaching the checkpoint, I am good to keep going. I will die, and then I will respawn, but you guys don't have to worry about that because I'll just skip to successful attempts that take me like 20 seconds. I do have to kill this thing. Luckily, I do manage without trouble. Don't ask me why Amy stays in that spherical form.
Whenever you use the V key, I don't personally know, but I decide I'm gonna go get that extra life. As you can see, I'm at 283 lives. That is not 350, which means I should be scared for my life. So I get my extra life, and I go back. Now, I don't know if there's a way to save both Amelia and Amy here, but I just used to ditch Amelia here since I have already saved the other two. I'm not screwing up this triple survival at the very end. So, of course, I immediately had to escape. But I forget for a second that I have to. Skip. Yes, I feel bad about Amelia, but honestly, she brought it on herself. She knew his aura changed. She should have seen this coming. She was far too trusting of her friend. Anyway, Ruby Mist has arrived. Now this is gonna be the longest part of the video because it took me like 13 minutes to actually find all the shards. But allow me to explain what I have noticed for this section. Now obviously the shard location, the shard spawn locations are consistent throughout every playthrough. You'll never find a shard spawning in a place it hasn't spawned ever before. Is that the right way to say it? I don't think so. Either way, it has set spawn locations that it chooses from. Yeah, that sounds right. So, there are 6 shards on the map. I only ever really hit about 7 or 8 of the locations before this run, which explains why it would take me so long to find a shard. because I'd only be running about 50-50 odds of finding all the shards in the first place. Let alone if I actually manage to do it without being spotted, which could potentially make me lose my shards. Because I don't know exactly what the chances of it are, but whenever you're dealing with Sally here, there's a chance that she'll just remove a shard from your collection, probably causing it to spawn somewhere else on the map. Of course, I haven't really proven that because I've never seen a new shard spawn, and as you have noticed, there is 6 on the map. So it could easily be that she just destroys one periodically. But anyway, this game of hide and seek is actually fairly easy. So I guess I'll probably make this the first point where I'll be skipping through a survived section, because otherwise we'll be here forever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I collected all 6. This is how I found out there's 6 here. Now, I do fall into this pit, which made me scared that I would run into Sally while trying to get out, which is essentially a death trap. So instead, I wait for Sally, just to find out I did nearly get obliterated with 6 shards, which would have been so unfortunate, as you can't really escape these pits if you have a Sally chasing you. Now, because I saw Sally's picture, I did decide to hide, because at this point I don't want to lose any of the shards, even if I have extra to spare. But that does mean I get out pretty easily. Like, from here, I win. Even if Sally did spot me, I have enough shards to teleport out. And that would mean I have not only survived with all 3 in the same run, I also had Cream get the Emerdudes. So while I'm celebrating, I pick Sally because she's the only one I haven't done the solo for. And unfortunately, there is no trio. There is no best ending. There's only the sad endings where you get obliterated. And because I had already done the look back thing, I don't bother doing it here. I just walk straight up to the creepy dude at the end of the path and get teleported out, where suddenly I have decisions to make. Of course, I'll wait until after I'm done talking to Creep here. I don't know if that's his actual name, but I'm calling him that. I know there is a guy who looks like this who is called Creep. But yeah, I'll just ignore the tail screams. Unfortunately, Dolly, while they technically had survived, because the world isn't ready for that yet, they did not. Luckily, now I know that I can beat the Sally section, even if it takes like 20 some odd lives. And luck, it's not too much of an issue. Now, I do decide to be dumb. I learned that I have to press enter. Which apparently playing dumb works. Like, I chose it because I saw it as the funny option and I had plenty of lives to spare. So I choose the Master Emerald, obviously, because that's where I need to go. Sally playing dumb and innocent. Which actually works, surprisingly enough. Only because I have the help of Xtier's partner in crime here. I do admit, Sally's logic is not flawed. If you deny it now, that means there's some chance of it later. I love the fact that I'm getting help from the enemy. That is something I love about these games, is that they're sometimes just so hilarious. Even better, I decide I'm gonna kill myself in the dumb way. Like, this is gonna be the dumbest way I've ever died in one of these games. I literally just watched. After a couple of QTE type things. I don't actually know how important it is to succeed there. But, yeah, I just watch and allow myself to die. I don't bother testing the other options because I literally had somehow accidentally stumbled upon the correct choices and I was too busy wanting to succeed to actually worry about it. Now, you do have to actually successfully choose your options before the QTE starts, but I skipped through it the second time around since I already read the text. But instead of just watching the Emerald dying, I decide to act. Unfortunately, the Emerald did not carry over to Sally. But for some reason that works. Nice! But yeah, so... I handled that situation surprisingly well for never having been here. Like, I didn't even watch the video up to this point, I just wanted to see how bad it would be for me to beat the Sally survival section. And I actually did surprisingly well. Now, in this super fight, Xtier chases you around while tossing bouncing black orbs that take away your rings for every frame you're inside of them, as well as charges at you occasionally to prevent you from just farming rings forever. You have to use the C key in order to place your orbs that speed you up and give you power, which costs you rings to place, by the way. So you have to be real smart when going in for an attack. Unfortunately, I do not land my hit. So I'm already down to 90 rings when I was at 50. And unfortunately, I do not get the speed boost fast enough, meaning I don't get the hit. Now, if you notice my rings dropped, that's because or my lives dropped. That would be because of a successful attempt. And it did take me quite a few attempts to actually get this done properly. Also, at this point, I'll remind you guys to do the YouTube stuff, such as leaving comments to help with the algorithm, leaving the like, thinking about subscribing. These are all things you can do of your own volition, and undo of your own volition. But whether you do or don't, just know that even being on this video is greatly appreciated by me. Now, as for how Exceller changes when he enters the anger mode, he spawns red clouds that drain your rings for as long as you stand in them, just like the black orbs do. As well as the screen background gets darker, which causes me personally problems because I can hardly see the orbs against the black background, meaning I can't dodge them. But overall, it's not too bad. If you only land punches, you'll do 2 damage at a time, meaning you only have to land 5 in order to win. But you can actually shoot orbs in order to do 1 damage from a longer distance away. I personally couldn't figure out how to land them consistently, so I just used punches. But you do have to use your XP in order to take down his fortune. If you don't, you will regret your life choices as you watch your rings slowly dissipate. Or quickly dissipate, not even slowly. Black. Here's I need to run. I barely dodged there. By the way, while you're holding the Z key, your rings slowly go up instead of down, by the way. As you can see. So even though you may not be getting rings, your rings do still slowly go up. I assume this is because it's so inconsistent to get rings that you'll need to use the Z key more than you actually wind up using any other key. But yeah, I choose to stay between the 2 layers that don't have any red clouds in my way. Now, unfortunately, I do not do quite as well from this point forward because at this point you have such low ring income that you have to get real lucky in order to survive, but I do pull it off, which means we reach the credits soon enough, and I actually have officially defeated Sally's ending. And that entails the end of the nightmare. My efforts rewarded with the last ending I could currently achieve. I'll leave you guys to enjoy the credits if you so choose. You just remember to leave a like and subscribe if you wish. Comment what you think I should play as well. And, well, overall, have a good day.